Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Just a little music to get us in the mood for some detective work. Yes, today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be talking about citing textual evidence. Citing textual evidence, which means we will be citing, we will be giving, saying, or writing evidence. Another word for evidence is proof. Proof. We will be giving, saying, and writing proof about text, words from our book. Why on earth would we need to give, say, and write proof about words from our book? Because when we read, we perceive things, we see things, we understand attitudes. And one person may see it one way, and another person will see it another way. And as we grow and as we learn, we need to recognize that the best rule for having a good argument is having evidence. So, what we need to understand is if we're going to make a claim and say the author is saying this happened, then we need evidence to support what the author is saying. Evidence is going to be proof that what I say is correct. It is true. When you write down what an author says, you are using evidence from the text. The evidence makes your claim strong. Here, let me see if this explains it for you.
Hello, readers! Today I'm in a courthouse watching people argue about laws so we can learn about the power of evidence. Evidence is essentially proof. It is the facts that help you know that something is true. Let's listen in.
And, Your Honor, that is why we propose that cookies be made illegal. The prosecution rests.
Very interesting indeed.
Objection, Your Honor. I may be a simple country lawyer, but even I can see that my opponent has neglected to offer up a single crumb of evidence in favor of banning all cookies on the heated and offensive anti-cookie slogans.
Objection sustained. You will give evidence for your claims, or I will dismiss this case in favor of cookies. You have not yet proved that cookies pose a threat to public health. Show me where it says in our books of law that I even have the right to make this ruling. Both of you are going to need to give me evidence.
Okay, so you can see that there are a couple of things happening here. There's a group of people who want to keep cookies, a group of people who want to ban cookies, and in the middle of it, a judge who has to decide which group of people is right. So, she asked them for evidence. If you believe cookies are bad, what's your proof? If you believe cookies are good in moderation, what's your proof? Let's step out of the courtroom for a second and go to this example in a text. I'm in big trouble. I forgot to do the social studies project last weekend. In my defense, I did have a very unusual weekend. My stepdad, Zeke, unexpectedly picked me up from school last Friday because he got free tickets to the Dodgers game. Then, since the game got over late, we decided to stay at my grandma's house because she lives sort of by the stadium. In the morning, she asked if we could paint her garage. Of course we did, but it took all day. On Sunday, I'm sorry to report, I devoted my entire day to watching Voltron. Let's try answering some questions that require us to look back at the text for evidence. This is like the bedrock of any kind of writing. If you make a claim, you have to back it up with evidence. So, did the author remember to do their social studies project last weekend? No. And why do we know that? They say so in the very first line. I forgot to do the social studies project. Okay, that's easy mode, you're saying. Fine. What did the author of this piece do on Saturday? You'll notice the word Saturday doesn't appear in the paragraphs above, and yet I could tell you with confidence and direct support from the text. How? Well, let's go back and look at the text. My stepdad Zeke unexpectedly picked me up from school last Friday, and we keep reading. Then, since the game got over late, we decided to stay at my grandma's house because she sort of lives by the stadium. So, the author and their stepdad spent the night, Friday night, at grandma's house. The story continues. In the morning, she, the grandma, asked if we could paint her garage. Of course we did, but it took all day. Which morning? Saturday morning. I'm pulling information directly out of the text to support my answer. The author spent Saturday painting their grandmother's garage. Ooh, hold on, let's head back to the courthouse. I think the judge is ready to issue her verdict and decide the case.
This court will come to order, please. Order! Thank you. We've heard the arguments of the prosecution and the defense, both anti-cookie and pro-cookie, and now the time has come to give my judgment. The anti-cookie side presented a very interesting case, showing the effects of cookie exposure to teeth and the dangerous effects of having too much sugar and feeling all wibbly. But the pro-cookie side also gave very compelling evidence, showing that in moderation, a cookie can be a very tasty snack indeed, provided that you treat them for what they are, something to have every so often. This court finds in favor of the cookie. Thank you.
Wow, readers. I think we just witnessed something important and historic, and it couldn't have happened without the power of evidence. You can learn anything. David out.
So we just learned a little bit more about cookies and the pros and the cons. And the person who wanted to get rid of cookies did not provide any evidence to ban cookies. So the person in favor of cookies just provided a little bit of evidence, and the person in favor won. Also, the person who did not do his homework had evidence of his activities that kind of made him forget his homework. He was distracted because of a change of schedule, and that was his claim. I didn't do my homework because I forgot. And then he explained what happened that made him forget. He got distracted. So let's practice this little job of finding evidence. Let's look at these two commercials and see which commercial gives us evidence to convince us to buy a product and which commercial does not give us evidence for the value or the quality of the product. So we're going to look for which advertisement has clear evidence to support the claim that you should buy their product. We're going to watch this one first.
Hi, Phil Swift here for Flex Tape Clear, the super strong waterproof tape that's clearly the best way to patch, bond, seal, and repair. Flex Tape's triple thick adhesive instantly bonds to the surface, stopping the toughest leaks while remaining virtually invisible. Plus, Flex Tape Clear is so strong, it even works underwater. Now you can repair pools and spas with a clear, watertight seal, and even make quick repairs without changing the look of your beautiful surfaces. Now it's easy to fix rips and tears. Plus, Flex Tape Clear holds on tight, even when wet. Flex Tape Clear is perfect for emergency auto repairs and lets light pass right through boats, campers, trailers, and RVs. Now everything in plain sight can be sealed watertight. To show you the power of Flex Tape Clear, I cut a giant hole in another boat and repaired it with only Flex Tape Clear. Not only does Flex Tape Clear's powerful adhesive keep all the water out of the boat, but even in shark-infested waters, it creates a super strong watertight barrier that seals out the elements, and you can see right through. And even in the most extreme conditions, Flex Tape Clear can take a pounding and holds on tight. I think I'm going to need a bigger boat. Wahoo!